In today's news, Premier Foy scolds negligent fathers. Honorable Alvaro Maduro Keynes crosses the floor. West End basketball courtyard vandalized. The opposition leader responds to Keynes' decision. And a 65-year-old man shoots after another during a verbal disagreement. And of course, the Dreamfest 2020 hailed a huge success. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast, unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.
Welcome, everybody. It's Tuesday, January 21st, 2020. I'm Ron Grant.
And I'm Kyla Kenesha Forbes.
Let's get right into it, guys. Topping our newscast today, yesterday, January 20th, 2020, residents and citizens of the Virgin Islands, particularly 6th District residents, were shocked as they learned that 6th District Representative, the Honorable Alvaro Maduro Keynes, had crossed the floor and joined the Foy-led government. The announcement came just after 3 p.m. at a press conference held at the Village Key Marina conference room with a small audience comprising of family, government ministers, and media. Keynes began by saying, and I quote, "I have tendered my resignation from the NDP and now pledge my support to the Honorable Andrew Foy." She added, "I have not been made any promises or offered any inducements, or have I been asked of any. I simply want what is best for our territory. I believe for what the BVI at this time is for all patriotic Virgin Islanders to be working together on one common goal. Her aim," she said, "is to do away with party politics and make decisions for the betterment and security of the Virgin Islands with no strict alliance along party lines." While the news came as a shock to many, others seemed not surprised. Many residents took to social media sharing their view, some seemingly still supporting the minister and her decision, while others feeling a little bit blindsided. One resident of the 6th District, Wilma Foy, took to our live stream of the press conference and said, and I quote, "Wow. Is this for real? What a slap in the face for District 6. While another, Rebecca Harry, commented saying something she should have done years ago. Keynes, a third-term legislator who briefly held the post of Junior Minister of Trade and Economic Development and also acted in the post of Minister of Education and Culture on several occasions, said she made the decision after deep prayer and said she believes she will accomplish more under Premier Foy's leadership. She also said that she was promised nothing from the Foy administration to cross the political floor. This transition of alliance puts the Foy-led administration at a 9 seat among the elected 13 members in the House of Assembly. To view the entire press conference, visit our Facebook page at twitformedia.com.
This came as a
Came
big
as a
shocker.
surprise to many persons,
A
yes.
big shocker. Around 3 o'clock, of course, around midday actually, the premier called a special press conference, and no one, I don't think much people
Could have
really
imagined that was it.
that this would have happened.
Well, at the end of the day, Kyla, this is something that we've seen happen throughout the political history of the Virgin Islands. Many persons have switched alliances as they so see fit, and at the end of the day, it is her decision. One of the things that she mentioned in the press conference was that she spoke to a lot of her constituents, members of her constituents, and they pledged their support to her.
Right.
Many of them are saying now via social media that they were still blindsided, that they were not, approached or talked to, but nevertheless, it is her decision, and she chose to do so. As she said, she thinks it's for the betterment of the Virgin Islands. So we do wish her all the best in her endeavors.
We definitely
Yes.
do wish her all the best. But viewers, reports were made of a recent refurbished basketball court in West End being vandalized. Premier of the Virgin Islands openly scolded unknown perpetrators during his first district report. Now, Ron, this could only be the works of idle hands, because I
course.
really don't understand why anyone would just on a random day come and say, I want to vandalize public property, especially one that was just refurbished.
Yes.
And as the premier rightfully said, this is just a waste of taxpayers' money.
Well, it reminds me of a situation we have across the country where the mirrors, when you're approaching a corner or over the hill, certain persons insist on breaking those mirrors, and at the end of the day, one of the conclusions that I have come to is it could only be persons who are not driving, because any persons with who are on the roadways and know the safety and understand the purpose of the mirrors would not do such a thing. So at the end of the day, I think it's a lack of appreciation for what we have in the Virgin Islands, especially when it comes to recreational parks. So just like the Minister of Health said a few weeks ago, where he would be instilling some whistleblowers, perhaps we need to do some whistleblowers around our recreational parks as well.
I agree. But the premier actually said, he said, you're not spiting me. Which
true.
he referred to himself, Andrew Alturovoy. Instead, you're killing the dreams of many people in this community who wants to go to college, who wants to go to the Olympics, who wants to go to the NBA or the Women NBA. He said, do not kill their dreams, but help them make their dream a reality.
Indeed.
And when the government invests these monies into these facilities, it's with these young people in mind who want to perfect their craft.
Absolutely.
You
I
understand?
agree.
So for me, we plead with vandals to stop doing this. If you don't like basketball courts, stay off the
And then stay
basketball
off the basketball courts. But
Simply.
actually, also when we think of graffiti, there are wholesome ways of expressing one's self when it comes to graffiti and art. It does not have to be in the face of defacing another's property.
Right,
So-
but in this situation, Ron, viewers, you did see the pictures. This
Yes.
was not graffiti.
Correct.
This was just someone being really malicious.
Yes.
Definitely. So still ahead, guys, the opposition leader, Marlon Penn, responds to Kane's decision, and all this and more when 284 News returns.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media at cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast, unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.
Viewers, welcome back to 284 News. In a press conference yesterday, Premier of the Virgin Islands had a lot to say about the men who are failing to pay child support. He promised that the Virgin Islands Party will be passing legislation that will crack down on these persons. Now, Ron, the Premier said that within the second quarter of this year, we will be seeing some legislation coming on stream that crack down on these individuals. He went as far as saying that this legislation will not allow these persons to leave.
I heard that, yeah.
To leave the territory. I'm not sure if that is legal, if that's something that they can actually do, but he is really eminent about cracking down on these individuals. One thing he did say is that these persons will not be able to do business with the government. He specifically spoke about contracts, governmental contracts, and I think this is just a way of the government stepping in and playing a part in making sure that men specifically
Yes.
are doing their part.
Well, I think at the end of the day, Kyla, it comes down truly, honestly and truly, to checks and balances. One of the things in the territory that we have a huge problem with is not that we don't have laws in place, but they're not enforced. So the issue of delinquent fathers and paying child support has been one that's been a thorn in our flesh for a very long time. I do agree with the Premier in that when it comes to doing business with the government, there should be somewhat of a log that allows the Treasury to note who owes the government or who is in arrears of whether it's child support or any other bills. I think that a proper system like that, where they could literally put in a social security number or NHI number and see exactly what's going on, so that moving forward, those persons could be held accountable. So I do agree, and I think it's a step in the right direction when we think about accountability and making sure that persons are held accountable not only for their children, but accountable for the finances of the government. Where
I
I don't necessarily agree with him with is, and I don't know, just like you said, if this is even possible for us to prevent persons from leaving. Unless you're holding persons' travel documents, you could prevent them from coming in the territory, but I'm not sure about actually preventing them from leaving.
The only way I think,
yeah.
to my knowledge, is to, like you said, seize travel
Correct,
documents.
yeah.
Yes, but the Premier did make a good point, and he said, even with child support, I do not know why men go and get children and don't support them. I have an issue with that. Me myself, Ron, I have an issue with that. I don't understand why. But one thing I will say, Ron, I hear the Premier speaking a lot about the men, but we have to understand that there are absentee mothers as well.
You should say that again.
So I do, and I'm a woman. I'm saying it. I'm saying it loud and clear. There are absentee women. So I do hope when this legislation come on stream, it's not one-sided.
It's not biased at all.
It's
Absolutely.
not one-sided.
Well, Kyla, the question that you asked about, you don't know why, I will definitely ask it on the Art of a Distinguished Gentleman. I have some gentlemen that come and sit down with me, and we have some really honest conversations.
You should
so
definitely
I will
do
ask
that.
Them. What's the problem?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the Premier, he tasked the female legislators, along with Honorable Neville Smith and Minister of Health and Social Development, Honorable Carvin Malone, with the task of drafting this legislation. So, Ron, this is something we will probably see
Yes,
in
we'll
a
be
few
seeing
months to
in
come.
the near future, which again, I think it's something that we need to pay attention to, and it's a step in the right direction.
Agreed.
Today, January 21st, 2020, Leader of the Opposition and Interim Chairman of the National Democratic Party, the Honorable Marlon Penn, has issued a statement following the resignation of the Honorable Alvaro Maduro-Keynes from the National Democratic Party. In the detailed letter to the party supporters as well as residents and citizens of the Virgin Islands, Penn said, and I quote, at 2:36 p.m. on January 20th, 2020, I received a letter from Honorable Maduro-Keynes forwarded via WhatsApp Messenger in my capacity as interim chairman of the National Democratic Party, advising me of her decision to resign. I was equally notified of her decision in my capacity as leader of Her Majesty's loyal opposition. He said, and I quote, Honorable Maduro-Keynes resignation is regrettable, as she has always been a strong representation of the National Democratic Party's core philosophy and values, where people and family are at the heart of who we are. He said, I am truly disappointed that her decision was made without consultation with me or the party, and moreover that she has opted to join the Virgin Islands Party, both of which are at odds with the Alvaro that I have come to know as a professional colleague and close friend over the past several years. He further added that he is comforted that the National Democratic Party has never been about politicians. He said their commitment to service to the people and their strong vision of these Virgin Islands is underrated. He closed by saying the National Democratic Party will continue to stand with the people of the 6th District because we recognize that our support of you and your success transcends beyond merely who represents you. As leader of the opposition, he said, I have spoken with my colleagues, and despite the fact that we are now smaller in number, we remain united and strongly opposed to the spectacle of form over substance rather than competence, the tyranny of victimization, the prevalence of cronyism, and the many other ills perpetrated by the VIP government of the people of the territory in just under 1 year. Very strong statements by the leader of the opposition, clearly saying that he's disappointed and that he wished that the decision would have been made with consultation with both him and the party members. But again, as we said earlier in this story, it is her decision, and she's chosen to do so.
And I'd like to step in here.
Yes.
Of course, it is her decision. We do wish Honorable Keynes all the best. But really and truly, a WhatsApp message.
I know.
Ron,
Quite unorthodox.
if you did
yeah.
that to me, we would have a problem. Yeah, it's not just as colleagues, but you know, you've grown as friends, as he rightfully stated in his statement. So
Well, you know, you raise a good point, and this story reminds me of. It's not particularly the same, but the way it was handled reminds me of the story we covered a few weeks ago with Meghan Markle and
Yeah.
Prince Harry, and they literally pronounced and advertised that they were stepping
Leaving,
down
yeah.
via Twitter.
Yeah.
So now we hear the leader of the opposition saying that at 2:36 and at a little after 3 p.m. the announcement was made, and he was just like, you know, what's going on?
Right.
But like you said, via WhatsApp message, it's a little bit, I would say, distasteful. Perhaps for not only the constituents but for her members, and I think it's a great example of how social media has allowed us to be so convenient
Right.
in our responses and how we deal with people.
People,
We just
right.
feel like we could drop it at any minute. This is a prime example.
We've been talking a lot about it, and social media is convenient. It has its uses, but at some point we have to draw a line,
Yeah.
and I don't know if this was a proper use of communication in this case.
Indeed, especially when you think of persons, like you said, who you've worked together for a very long time. Still ahead, Dreamfest 2020 hailed a major success over in the U.S. Virgin Islands. We have all about this story and much more. When we return, you're watching 284 News.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There's the answer code.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Brilliant Hands and Minds tutoring services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
Viewers, welcome back. Reports made by the VI Consortium out of St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, 65-year-old Michael Reimer shot his male victim during an argument at the Breaktime Bar in the Market Square Monday afternoon. The victim was left wounded but in stable condition. Mr. Reimer was arrested and charged with third-degree murder. Ron, the thing about this story is Mr. Reimer is actually a retired correctional officer.
Interesting.
Yeah. The police went over to the hospital where the victim was. He gave details to the police. He basically said that the victim and Reimer got into a verbal altercation, and then he said that basically Reimer pulled out a gun and shot him. That's in the shortened form. The victim was transported to the hospital, and as we reported, he is in stable conditions. This case is under investigation right now, and the police is asking anyone with any information regarding the crime to contact 911. This is the Criminal Investigation Bureau at 340-774-2211, extension 5579.
Kyla, a prime example that gun violence knows no age. We sometimes think that only young men or young persons engage in criminal activity or lose their temper or don't know how to deal with anger, but we see that it's a problem that a lot of persons face irregardless of their age.
Agreed.
So we'll keep you guys posted on this story. The VI Consortium out of St. Thomas USVI has reported that Dreamfest 2020, a reggae extravaganza in St. Thomas held Saturday night at the Crown Bay parking lot, brought out Virgin Islanders by the thousands, making for a spectacular event put on by the Westline Production and Pump Station Entertainment and sponsored by major players such as the VI Ports Authority, the Department of Tourism, Banco Popular, via Southland Gambling and Gaming, and Hennessy. Aerial shots of the Port Authority Crown Bay parking lot, as you're seeing right now on your screen, show the massive crowd gathered. A world-renowned reggae artist, Tarrus Riley and Chronix, delivered their vast library of hit songs, including Mr. Riley's "She's Royal," "Just the Way You Are," "Gimme Liquid One Drop," and "Simple Blessings," among a plethora of others. For Chronix, the chart topper delivered crowd favorites such as "Here Comes Trouble," "Like Smile Jamaica," "Shanking," and others that kept the crowd enjoying all night affair. Mr. Riley, 40, born Omar Riley in Bronx, New York, is a Jamaican American reggae singer and member of the Rastafari movement. In 2004, Tarrus released his debut album, Challenges. Mr. Riley has consistently racked up awards for his work. Among his accolades are Best Singer, Male Vocalist, Cultural Artist, Song of the Year, and Best Song. Some of the awards institutions which have rewarded Riley include the Youth View Awards, the Star People's Choice Award, EME Awards, and the Reggae Academy Awards. Now, Chronix, 27, very young artist, born Jamar Rolando McNaught, was musically nurtured from an early age by his father, dancehall artist Chronicle, and grew up surrounding by the likes of Buju Banton, that's it. We talked about Gregory Isaac as well. His remarkable affiliation with the music industry began as the background singer, harmonizing for artists such as Lutan Fayon and providing production assistance for tracks sung by Popcorn, Conscience, and others. Now, we have a clip from that really remarkable performance, so take a look.
We just want the presents, because this present is a present. Now you see this song? It was done when I'm a brother them, I'm pressure brother them. You ever hear about a group named R-City? Your very own R-City. The roughest set of youth there. So I'm going to sing that one now. And to me, it's one of the national anthems, just like our Virgin Islands so dance. Are you ready? Intro now. Vice of the one called Rock City. Alongside Tarrus Riley. Worldwide, we want you to rock with Natal. Sing for the people.
Pollution, poverty, people die.
Trust her. Trust her.
Through this darkness, we're the light.
Lighter. Lighter. Send for
With so much worry, so much war. We still manage to have a heart.
This is the Virgin Islands. You got to show, you got to get lively. Come on.
Cause I can get a better back to say.
Hey,
Just trying not to let this pain. If I can come to you.
everybody say. We're in this crazy. If you think me never have a pull it on. If you not the man say, go. We're not shooting anybody. I love nothing. Come on, for the telegram. Go for them, family.
Pollution, poverty, people die. Let's see if a chance up like this.
Lighter.
But through this darkness, we're the light.
Virgin Islands.
With so much worry, so
Carla, what a concert looks like it was over there in St. Thomas. Persons who I have spoken to said they really had a good time.
I am absolutely upset that I missed it. I am a big reggae fan.
Nice.
I love Chronix. I've seen him perform before. He's an amazing.
Do you have a favorite song of Chronix?
I heard you calling out some of the
Here
songs.
Comes Trouble.
Yeah, Here Comes Trouble, Skanking Sweet. His last Chronological, his last album was definitely great. But
Nice.
I will be seeing him later this year, so
Yeah, I believe he's going to be in
okay.
Puerto Rico.
Yes, he will be.
Nice.
So I will be seeing later this year. But the funny part is, his dad, his name Chronicle.
Yeah,
That's different. That's
It's
a fun
interesting,
fact.
but it also shows you where he kind of got his, not only his name from, but his musical genius from his dad. So it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Guys, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to like us on Facebook at 284 Media and 284 Media BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kyla Kenesha Forbes.
And I'm Ron Grant. We'll see you again tomorrow as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. Of course, you may be watching us via Facebook, or you may be watching us via our new website at 284media.com. Both are available on live streams are available on both platforms, so be sure to check us out and feel free to share. 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news, right here on 284 Media. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Have a beautiful evening.
May I assist you? Yes. You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top up or? Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch again? You say you were sick? What happened to over the rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
Alright, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey. I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today.
What are you really running for, boss? You could have bust a hole in your head. But see you with the competition. Which means you're about to bust a hole in your pocket.
I could get my modem, please.
Anyhow, I got something huge to show you.
I gotta be sick in your head.
Well, hold on, string bean. Taking a kind of party. Check this. That's LTE1 for just about everyone. LTE2 for you and your boo. And hold on. Bam! Rate so low, you feel like you're free. That's LTE3 for you and the whole family.
Save even more on your internet with new pricing from CCT. Get LTE 2 now for only $149.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media at cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast, unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.
It's been said, sticks and stones may break bones, but words don't hurt me. That could not be further from the truth. Everything you say and do creates an impact. Whether you're 13 or 30, 6 or 60, your actions and words carry weight. They either lift someone up or tear them down. 1 in 5 students ages 12 to 18 has been bullied during the school year. Approximately 160 teens have skipped school because of bullying. The most commonly reported types of bullying are verbal harassment, social harassment, physical bullying, and cyberbullying. Remember, everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about, and bullying is never okay, whether it's in a classroom or corporation. 284 Media joins the Ministry of Education of the Government of the Virgin Islands in the fight against bullying. When you see it or hear it, speak up